Because now we have some plasma flow without any motors. And I don't understand why we're going backwards instead of going forwards. And this is the principle. Any of you who understand and understood the work of the plasma conductivity, you need a bigger sink, much weaker, to be able to drain battery. Ta-da! You create a battery charger 1 second. Done. Sell it to, what do you call it, Tesla company. You need 3 hours, 4 hours to charge yourself up. Because they haven't understood the concept. You need a bigger sink to pull. How do you create a bigger sink? With a weaker material. That's all it needs to be done. And our team somehow do not understand. And you know something, it's like you talk and you give up. But it's a good question you ask, it's perfect. In maglev systems, you put your coils here, and then you put a capacitor here. You put a capacitor here, I won't put a capacitor. You put a copper here, find a weaker material here that the load can't feed into. You create a massive problem. Why are we successful in Africa with our maglev systems, with our power units? Because they're anything, the cheapest has been sent to Africa, so the systems work. You got to understand, at the present time, the way life is and the way the material is, we have a understanding simple. You have a matter state and you have a plasma state, concurrently going together. If you go back to some of the teachings a few weeks ago, I explained in the space reactors in China, we feed both plasma and AC together on the same lines, and they both work. Because it's different thing, and you ignored it. I see we use different gases, different... It's nothing to do with that, it's just understand what you did. What did Alex do? Alex is understood in a simple way, and somehow nobody else understands what he's done. You have a copper wire. He uses little aluminium foil. And then what does he do? He put a zinc wire. Do you understand what's the difference? You have the zinc. You have aluminium. Does anybody have the figures for atomic structure? The flow creates that. It's nothing to do with the gases you put in. The nano coating there, you just create that space gap that they can have the separation. You still work in the work dimensions of it. And then if you understand, you have the bigger to the smaller. You actually, a flow of the Alex beads is that way, not this way. You keep on adding beads and beads. That's why he connects his maglev unit the way he does. He creates demand pull on gravitational line. Suck it in, so you produce, you ask for more, and then in that process, you feed the system. Most of your system which works on maglev units is because you start nano layering and you pull, and then more or less after a while, you can just throw everything away, and as long as you can create a small pulse to create plasma flow, the systems works perfect. You don't need your electricity should be very, very little, because you need, if you, a signal generator does not do this. You need a signal generator with a small current. And then it's a pulse, it's like a heart. If the heart doesn't beat, there is no blood. And if you look at the 4 chambers of the heart, it's the same thing. One of them is always, why do we have 2 big chambers and 2 small chambers in the opposite way? Ratio. We always look at the um, mechanical operation of the heart. But now that we're educated, we've got to look at the plasmatic condition of the heart. And how it gets charged, where the beating comes from. The beating comes literally, if you understood the process of the whole creation, you have two chambers. This chamber and this chamber. They get across. There is a continuous ratio flow. There is no difference between the structure of the heart of the man and the amino acid and the star formation. And why does it heart pulls to one side and it goes on sideways, it doesn't stand up this way? It's the same reason. If you look at, even when just spoke about it, you put your reactors like this and you sit in it, or whatever, you put your reactors different way and you sit in it. What do? You are the weakest part of the chain, because here the fields are stronger, you go through your flows, and if you can get this flow in the right direction, then the system works. The principle of the plasma transmission is not the principle of matter. In matter condition, you always go towards the big. In plasma condition, you always be big. And it's much easier, because it sucks. This you have to push. Tesla understood this. Tesla played fully with this. And it's amazing when you see some of his work, nobody has understood. He was a master of disguise. And they say Tesla was a genius, because he understood, but at that time he could not understand nano layers and superconductivity. If Tesla was here today, it would have been a different world. This is one thing he could not solve. He could not understand that with the way he was winding some of his systems, is creating a very low nano layers on this conduct, on this system. And he played it sometimes. Most of his transmission he uses nanotechnology without him understanding, and a lot of people do what we done the Tesla's coil and the rest of it. This is what the plasma transmission is. This is why everybody looks, oh, why do I put a fridge at the maglev system? We need that fridge to create the pulse in the nano layers that they can feed back more freely. The difference between 1 and 4 is, in reality, if you understand it, is the difference between matter state flow and a plasma state flow. Plasma state flow has less friction, so it goes faster, it goes more powerful. But then you have to learn how to tap into this to be able to use it. At the moment, I spend all summer with the research group trying to teach, but it doesn't click in, because always has to refer to matters. Why most of you, when you make systems, maglev systems, you blow the transformers for the government, because your maglev system is so powerful that the sink in the transformer in the liquid is so weak that it just sucks it in. All of you, I've said that, I spoke to the people in Australia and they don't understand it, so they send somebody to transformer. Why the transformers are blowing up? Because it's a big sink. And you're dealing now with a line which has been nano-coated. Who sells the battery? They tell you your meters does not work, you're not doing any saving. Tell them, I would like to see the meters at the transformer at the power station. They're taking 1 kilowatt, using your maglev system that's selling 3 kilowatt, they're seeing the benefit. But you, because the sink sits there. If you can produce a sink at the point of your meter, you take the electricity, not them. The electricity boards love Keshe Foundation students and the knowledge seekers who made maglevs. You're supplying free energy and you're paying the bill. You have not understood the principle. But this is obsolete. This is absolutely obsolete. Because if you look at what they call smart meters, the smart meters are connected back into the transformer line. So you continuously, you become a generator for electricity board without you knowing. They give you 1 kilowatt, you give them 4 kilowatt back. But they have a sink in the transformer which converts it, they sell it. They wish in one village, everybody will have a maggraph system connected to their houses. You pay your electricity bill, darling. The electricity company is picking up on your next door village. 3 villages. The principle of the plasma technology has not been understood. You always look at the materialistic. Then this is the problem. Even in these systems, I look, it just, as I was with one of the knowledge seekers, he says, I have a bad teacher, he doesn't teach me anything. But I have a bad student who does not understand what they're doing. The problem is, this is what we have, we're talking to some governments, to start teaching the plasma technology, the new science of physics at the primary school. Now when they come to university, they don't have to readjust because they accepted the fallacy and they stick to it. What they accepted the matter state, they stick to it. Now we have to change it, it's impossible.